Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Speed Gaming. We have an excellent Link to the Past Randomizer tournament match coming up here between Goomba and daaanty. This is a second round matchup between these runners, and the series is tied at 1. So this is a game 3. The winner of this match will move on to the third round, and the loser will be going home. Today, you have me and Jembro here on commentary, and I am joined by Homemade Beer. How are you doing this evening?
Hey, Ninjembro, doing good. How are you doing?
I am pretty good. Really excited to be able to do commentary for this match because these are two excellent top-tier runners, and I'm really excited to see how this one goes.
Yeah, same here. I was kind of doing a bit of, background on these runners, and they both entered the bracket as the number 1 seed and the number 1 of the losers seed. daaanty being the number 1 winner seed and Goomba being the number 1 loser seed. So, yeah, definitely excellent runners here.
And the runners should be off here shortly. Homemade Beer, you want to run us kind of through the format of this tournament for this year for those who may be unaware?
Yeah, sure. So the tournament this year is a standard opening, which we see here. We start in our house and find 5 rupees in the chest. We have to go through the full escape sequence and get a randomized weapon off the uncle, and then save Zelda from herself. And a quick map check there shows Desert Palace was a red crystal and Hera was a pendant.
Yeah, so always like seeing as many crystals in the light world as possible as a runner.
Yeah, always. Yeah, and then the last bit is the hard item pool. So we now get our first of 3 possible swords that we will see on this seed. Due to the hard item pool, we will not see any male upgrades. We will have a maximum of 14 hearts, and
these darts with a nice prize pack giving bombs to both of these runners.
Yeah, and the flippers here too.
Yeah, so with those bombs, we will see the runners able to get all 6 items out of the escape sequence. So sometimes you don't find much of anything in the escape sequence, and sometimes you find everything imaginable. So curious to see what kind of seed we'll have here.
Yeah, first couple items, there's always a nice start. Getting sword escapes, nice because it's just like going through the NMG escape, and then getting the bombs early means you don't have to waste time farming.
Absolutely. We'll probably see these runners kill a few extra enemies along the way, but most likely just a bunch of the snakes in the basement since they share a prize pack with the guards.
Yeah, always good to go into CAC with a full set of bombs.
Okay, so these runners approaching the second chest here. We'll hopefully find our first actual item since that first chest contained a key. Both runners getting the nice little swaggy quick kill on that blue guard, wasting no time whatsoever.
Yeah, that was nice, putting the key right by the chest so you don't have to walk over and grab it.
Sword start, always testing out the ability of these runners to kill this ball and chain guard the kind of NMG way. With this being hard standard, I feel like you barely ever get to see sword strats on that guard.
Yeah.
And we do find a book in Zelda's cell, so kind of as was alluded to earlier, sometimes you find nothing, and sometimes you have a sword, flippers, and book already at the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, they're just, take the literature that Zelda was entertaining herself with, with them out of the escape.
Look, when you're locked up in a cell like that, you need something to occupy your mind.
Yeah, it's true. Got to stay sharp for when you escape. And the book's kind of a weird escape item too, because that allows you to enter Desert Palace now and grab whatever item might be on the ledge. But without boots or fire or any of that, it's a pretty risky play to dive that early. But
yeah,
the book allows it, so.
Yeah, and you'll sometimes see runners head over there and do Agina's Cave and check the desert ledge, even not being able to get into desert. So I'm wondering if them having that book will make them hold off on that a little bit until at least they get a glove and a fire source. Because then at that point, you're unless desert is boots locked, you're able to clear it versus having to come back and double dip it.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen some South Shore openers that runners will go straight south to Mini Moldorm Cave and work their way left towards the desert, hoping to find, like you said, all the items they need to complete the dungeon. But, we'll see what they choose to do here.
Okay, and kind of as mentioned, Goomba there going for kills on a lot of the snakes here. Farms up to 8 bombs with daaanty getting up to 7.
Yeah, it was a nice spin. I think he took out like 4 in a row.
And the hook shot in Escape.
Okay.
So I really like seeing hook shot early in races between really top runners because everybody talks about like boots and movement in the overworld, but like seeing what runners know, just like quick ways to get around the world using the hook shot as opposed to just walking everywhere, it's really neat to see.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good way to show off your knowledge of what things you can hook onto and pull you. Like, I think the movement speed is as fast as the boots if you do it properly, like in a horizontal direction or vertical, obviously.
Yep. And we have a Master Sword already, so anybody in chat that likes Aga Seeds is feeling pretty good right now, as we only need the lamp.
I'm waiting for the lamp to be here.
At like exactly the same time. Like these runners are synced up so incredibly well right now.
Well, Goomba has 1 more bomb and daaanty has 1 more rupee, so who really wins?
Oh, that's a good point. I'm not too sure. I mean, if daaanty gets up to Zora area and Goomba has 499 rupees. You're really going to be kicking himself over that one. I guess technically Goomba was a little bit ahead coming out of Escape because daaanty had not yet done his map check.
Yeah, that's right. I'd forgotten about that too.
Bunch of money there in the hideout. And just seeing a heart container at the mushroom location, and daaanty just going to skip that.
Yeah, even though they're low health now, they know that they'll end up finding enough hearts to make those go away. So.
And Goomba went and picked it up. Can't really fault him for that. I can see taking or leaving that, but looks like Goomba is going to give us our pet check, so it makes sense that he picked up that heart container along the way.
Yeah, they did have a book on Ped Seed in the last race, so.
And just 10 arrows. So, chat finds out that the pedestal is dead 7 minutes and 30 seconds into the seed. Feels bad for those pet lovers.
Yeah, what do they have to look forward to now? What can they be chanting?
And we got our first bottle. Goomba heading down into the well. And the flute in the well.
This is a pretty free CAC. I think they're going to get everything done but the bat, right? On this first trip, and maybe the library if it's anything useful.
Yep.
Okay.
And the boots and the hammer.
Okay.
So there are a lot of opportunities here for very large amounts of route divergence. There's so much is open for these runners already. If I were to guess, I would assume that both are going to head up to Death Mountain after this sequence.
They have a lot up there, that's true. And even Ether Tablet, of all things, is available right now.
Yeah. And Cape on the Bottle Salesman.
He's taking up sewing.
But yeah, just as much as we could see a Death Mountain play, South Shore is just as good of a play, because you could head over, do Ice Rod Cave, set up a water walk, even though we have the flippers, and do all the Zor area checks. So there's quite a few possibilities for the runners here. This is a really interesting seed. Daaanty freeing the chicken under the pot.
Nice guy Daaanty over here. Yeah, they all of their options have pretty good density too. It's kind of interesting to see where they're going to choose.
And Daaanty stealing the sick kid's boomerang. And just 20 bucks in the library. Not going to waste any time going for that.
Yeah, they found plenty of cash earlier, so that's nice. Ooh, Daaanty not going to grab that half magic on race game there.
Yeah, it's something that you know it's there. You can come back for later if you feel you really need it. At this level of play, I don't see the runners really sweating that half magic too much, even though it is nice.
Yeah, I think, the way this is opened up, it feels like they're expecting another sword to come, at some point in the seed, so it won't be a big deal.
Yeah, you really only really rely on a half magic for like a Master Sword, Silverless Ganon fight.
Nice glove from the dam.
Yep. While Daaanty is heading up to Death Mountain here, going to rescue the old man, while Goomba heads into Mini Modorm Cave here.
Yeah, we're a fire source away from full clearing desert.
Lots of arrows coming early out of these chests.
Right.
And nothing really in Mini Modorm Cave, except a ton of money. Goomba is opting to skip Ice Rod Cave here and just go straight for the Zora checks. Not a bad play because you can just loot to 8 later and hop on up to Ice Rod Cave real easy.
Yeah, definitely. It's like the most convenient way to get that, basically, it seems.
We do see Bombos up on Spectacle Rock. I'm very skeptical about that Bombos location, but we do see a bow in the cave.
The seed's opening up a little quickly. What do you think?
I see I do see an Eastern play in the near future from Daaanty, I think. There's no reason not to head over there, get your first crystal out of the way, and potentially find some more progression.
Let's hover, too. Do you think you go into Tower of Hera here? At this point?
I think because I have the hook shot and can Hera pot, yes.
Just try and pull 2 items real quick. Well, Goomba
yeah, because you're also going to go over there and
though.
check Ether at the same time, Ether tablet.
Right.
Without having that book, I think it's a little closer of a decision.
Yeah, quick shout out to our tracker, our Tarl, for having to go crazy getting every single item in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, especially with these runners taking very different routes. Normally, you're so used to runners taking pretty similar routes in the early game. And there's the lamp.
Wow, okay.
Right there in Spectacle Rock, which Goomba's heading up to Death Mountain now.
Can you imagine he made a liar out of comms?
I could have sworn I saw him hit one. I'm sure he'll be up there soon enough.
So that was our first screen 20. That must have been a male upgrade, right?
Yeah, that one would have had to been a male upgrade since Goomba does not yet have his bow. And
Wow.
there's our Moon Pearl.
Okay, game.
So, daaanty doesn't know this yet, but he does have Dark World access once he gets down to that dam. Goomba checking Bonk Rocks and finding a heart container.
Yeah, that was a nice bit of routing he just did, taking the whirlpool from south of Ice Rod Cave over to the Sank area and able to grab that on the way up to check Lumberjack here.
Yep. We do see that it is a basement locked Hera. So the big key is in the basement. daaanty doing a Hera pot though to get some item checks in here. I did not see what that was that Goomba showed us in.
I did not either.
So one item is in the big chest here in Hera. daaanty seems like is going to go up and kill Moldorm though. I guess it is also worth noting that daaanty did not do the pedestal check. I doubt that's really what's informing his decision making here.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, it is good knowledge. If you find 2 items, Goomba knows he does not need to grab the pendant. Oh wow! I just checked the VOD on Goomba's side, and it was the mitts on Lumberjack.
Oh, okay. So we do have an Agassi then.
Okay.
As daaanty picks up his first pendant.
Congrats on the pendant.
Not a sentence that's uttered very often in these races.
Did he get both items too? I was...
No, one item is in the big chest and the other item is on Moldorm.
Ah, okay. That's really good knowledge from Goomba now too. Knowing Pet is dead and knowing where the mitts are. Once he finds a snack, he can choose to rush these. So
we find Fire Rod in Spiral Cave.
So yeah, what's left in this seed?
Are these players in Go mode? Wait. Not quite.
A medallion, maybe another rod, a red cane, a mirror. That's about it, right? I think we got everything else.
The chat asking if mitts are always required. They are always required because you do need them to get up to Ganon's tower. daaanty picking up his glove here. Now realizing that he does have that Dark World access. And the ability to beat 2 crystals here in the Light World.
It's been really cool to watch this routing. Oh, sorry,
do you head into the Dark World, or do you just go clear those crystals now?
From Goomba's perspective?
From daaanty's, sorry.
Oh, from daaanty's. That's a good question. Yeah, he doesn't have the mirror, and like both of those dungeons are dungeons that you would like to have the mirror,
right?
Combo with other things. So it's kind of hard to say. He didn't check the Dark World prizes either, right? When he was after he did Hera, no, because he went back to get the Fire Rod.
Correct. So Goomba just electing to leave Tower of Hera after getting the information that it is.
Oh, that's right. There was a bow in Spec Rock that he will not see right away unless he chooses to flute back there and go up the like walking up side on the left.
Yeah, and he's about to get his Fire Rod. Knows that he has Dark World access and knows where those mitts are. I know both of these runners are pretty thorough in their checks, but I would not be surprised if we don't see Goomba go straight back for that right now. Especially knowing that that he saw that bomb boost medallion. He's like, well, I can just check this later when I find my mirror.
Ooh, that's a very good point. Yeah, waiting for the mirror on that.
And Goomba is just making the play to head straight to Aga here.
Yeah, I think this makes sense. You want to have the mitts when you first get into the Dark World, mainly because there's a lot of mitts checks that are on the path that you don't want to have to, go back and retrace steps for.
Right. So daaanty fluting the 5 and then quickly after saying, actually, no. Let's go to 4 instead. Alright, we got another pendant at Thieves Town, and green pendant is at Ice Palace, with our other 5/6 crystal being Pod.
That's not too bad of a layout for dungeon prizes. Mainly, we have the Fire Rod. We can do Skullwoods, Desert, Eastern, and Pod right now. Once both runners get their bow out of Spectacle Rock.
Right. Right. Now it looks like daaanty is going to go over here and make the Pod play. Or making a liar out of me and going to check the pyramid first.
That's kind of interesting because he does have access to complete both red crystals. You would maybe sometimes consider waiting until you have the big bomb before doing pyramid and then combo these checks together.
Yeah. I guess with the boots, he's probably thinking, it's not that far out of the way, and if it's a really nice item, like the mirror, gives you some routing efficiencies. But yeah, I do think I would prefer to just hold it off for that pyramid fairy check. Looks like he is also going to go over here and do catfish first instead.
Interesting.
While Kuma's finishing up the Aga climb here, about to get into that fight. How many blue balls do you think we're going to see?
Let's go with 2. I hear that's
2?
the most common number, right?
Yeah, I want to go with 4. A little above average.
Just enough to make it annoying?
Yep. And the catfish giving us a heart container, which daaanty almost saves and quits, and he's like, it's free.
We've already skipped another one,
Alright, there's 1 blue ball. Two. Looks like daanty's just going straight for the Eastern play here.
Yeah, this makes sense, because once you finish, you can flute out and then choose which portal you want to go to next, or choose Desert, however you want to do it.
There's our 3rd blue ball.
Oh, you got
And
4.
4th. Alright, no more.
Oh, that's it. That has to be it, right? Was that 5? I don't remember how it
No, there's still a chance for he can get up to 7 right now. And it was 4 blue balls.
Nice call. This works out too, because now Goomba can check the pyramid here on a free trip.
Yep. I was going to say he's getting the information that he has Pyramid Fairy access, but he actually does not have the information because he doesn't have the bow.
Yeah, waiting for that mirror. So kind of, one of the nightmare scenarios on Goomba's side is not finding that mirror for a long time.
Right.
Of course, he'll be forced back up there at some point, but like you said, he'll probably prioritize it once finding the mirror and then be able to grab the bow along the way.
And daaanty getting that Eastern Palace layout that you just hate to see, where there's one item left and it's either on Armos Knights or in the big key chest. And you just have to go all the way out of your way to probably get a dungeon item, because that's how the game gets you.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't get the map out of the back, how do you know how to get to the boss?
Right, exactly. Goomba now heading to the old man.
Okay.
So,
okay,
about to get his bow.
Real heads up play here. I'm curious, do you think he checks Spike Cave with this? I think he's able to, right, with hearts and magic he has.
Yeah, and that honestly could have been driving his decision to head up here. Because I just don't see coming up here just for that one check when you have so much available to you.
Right.
Yeah, and especially since he did the bomb jump across to get out of there real quick.
Yeah, this is going to work out really well. Looks like Eastern coming up completely empty. Is there an item left on Armos?
There is. We did find the map in the back, as you had alluded to.
Oh, good. So he could find his way to Armos. Perfect.
And our Tempered Sword in Spike Cave.
Not bad.
Things are looking pretty good for Goomba here in the early game, but, I mean, we're still pretty early.
He is down 1 crystal and 1 pendant.
That is true. That could make all the difference here. And daaanty going to head over here to Sarashala's closet.
This is the first time we've seen this, isn't it?
It is. And Goomba now heading into Eastern with that bow. And Sarashala gives us nothing.
Now I'm wondering if that other green 20 that Saha had hiding in the back was the other bow.
Yeah, I mean, either a bow or a mail upgrade.
Yeah.
I do find it interesting here that Goomba rushed Aga and is kind of just avoiding picking up his mitts. It's like he knows they're there. It's just keeping that information in his back pocket.
Yeah, I was just thinking one thing that's going to really work out the way he routed this was, burning all your magic and everything to do Spike Cave, and then you come to Eastern where you don't need magic the entire dungeon and getting a free refill to go do other things.
That's a pretty good point there. I didn't even really consider that.
I wonder if he did.
Yeah, I really don't like when I play rando. I don't really think about that a whole lot, other than like some of the later game dungeons, like Ice Palace, Turtle Rock. I always think about my magic consumption before going to those, but in the early game, it's not really something I feel like a lot of runners think about too much.
Yeah, I know
Daaanty
what
and
you
Pod
mean.
here. Finds a big key in the first chest, so Pod is bow locked. Not that it matters a whole lot since both of our runners have their bow.
Yeah, and Goomba going straight for this big key chest without checking the big chest. I wonder if he just didn't remember he found that big key earlier. But either way, like you said, knowing that you're going to have to collect all these items.
Yep. It's also just possible that counting the items, he's like, well, even if I find something in the big chest, I have to come back here anyway. I'll just grab it later. There's those little movement efficiencies where I'm just thinking to myself now, maybe it's technically a little bit faster to do it this way, and that's why he's doing it.
Right. Yeah, if he was going to do it no matter what, then, do it first and then grab the big chest on the way to the back. That actually makes sense, I think, because the compass was in the front, so.
Yep. And he's just finding key after key after key here in Pod.
Yeah, all the goods of Pod are always in the back. So.
Yep. We find a mushroom in the big key chest, which means we're going to find a key down here, since we've already found 2 non-small keys. As Goomba enters his almost fight.
Yeah, I think this routing will work out for Daaanty as well, because finding the big key in the front like that, you can just go rush the boss and then get a free warp to the back and save and quit if you don't find anything.
Yeah, I did find curious that he didn't make that particular play. Looks like he's just doing the back first.
Okay.
And I'm curious if that's simply because of not having the mirror.
Yeah, not sure, because I don't know what his route would be after this. If he doesn't find the mirror, he would have to save and quit, right?
Yeah, I can't see running anywhere from Pod.
Ooh, you missed the pixel.
Yeah, not quite lining up the hammer jump there. Just gonna go for it again.
Okay, no, maybe not.
There we go. And Goomba making the Pod play here as well.
Yeah, I really like this. You don't need the mitts for anything in this area, and you have to do all of it, so just go knock it out. And like we said, if you find the mirror, then you can go grab Desert along the way to checking the Meyer medallion.
Right.
More keys. Thanks, Pod.
We're only missing one more item, so there it is.
Well, at least they have a mushroom now.
Right? Fetch quests. Daaanty checking that chest, even though we know it has to be a map or compass. So either just kind of on autopilot or just possibly not counting items as well as us. When you're in the middle of a race like this, it's very easy to just kind of miss little things like that just due to nerves.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty much, trying to execute as best you can while keeping track of the logic, and counting dungeon items in a dungeon like Pod where you're going to full clear it anyway becomes a lot lower of a priority. Just open everything along the way.
For sure. And you definitely you feel better checking that and not needing it than thinking that you counted the items correctly but you didn't and you just accidentally leave something in a dungeon.
Yeah, and just that's undermined the entire seed, distracting you from actually thinking about stuff you need to do.
Like, man, was there an item left in that chest? I could have sworn there wasn't, but now I'm not sure.
Definitely have seen some some runners opening the sank chest that had a map in it, super late in the seed before in this tournament.
Goomba is giving us that straight to the boss route here. As daaanty enters his Helmsar King fight, about to get his second crystal.
It feels like they're getting pretty deep into the seed, but it's only been 34 minutes. They just got so much so early and haven't found anything for a while.
Yep. Really good Helmsar King fight there from daaanty, getting a second crystal as Goomba's about to enter the fight himself.
So I have a feeling daaanty might go and check some boots checks here, get those out of the way, and find his mitts knowledge, since he doesn't really have much left on this side of Dark World.
All right, let's see where daaanty decides to go here. Going to turn in that mushroom so that he can save Scummit if necessary.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that already.
And just a piece of heart, so we are seeing the hard reset from daaanty here. And daaanty's starting here at Sank, so he may soon get that information that mitts are AGA locked. If you're rooting for daaanty, you are really hoping that he heads up to Lumberjack here. Not getting the flute out right away, so that's a pretty good sign. Yeah, and he's setting up there. He's going to get that information right now.
Yeah, funny enough, Goomba has already completed AGA, but still hasn't picked up the mitts, yeah.
daaanty leaving and quick swapping straight to that flute.
Wonder where he's going. He's got a date with a wizard.
A lot of these runners are taking care of things that the other has already done. We still have quite a few items here, so it's really hard to say one way or the other that either runner has a lead. It's really going to come down to where's the Ice Rod, where are maybe Ether, Quake, where's the Red Cane, and if any of those or the Mirror are in just really trolly locations that one runner finds it early and the other just doesn't for a very long time, that could just turn the tide of this entirely. That's kind of one of the really fun things about watching these races, Just like kind of that excitement of, oh, this item that they both need is in this just really off the beaten path location. Who's going to find it first?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, like you said, this is extremely close. There's nothing to put either of them in the lead right now. They know exactly the same information each other has, except for Goomba having done Spike Cave to get a sword, and daaanty having done Hera to get nothing. So,
yep.
And even clearing stuff to not find anything is still knowledge. Like it's still definitely when you're looking for something at the end of the game, you know not to go to certain areas.
Right. And all it takes is for that trolley location, like I mentioned, to have the ice rod or the mirror, and Goomba heads up to Hera, thinking that it could be here. I didn't do that yet.
Right.
He stepped in there very briefly. Goomba also doing the mushroom check for the hard reset, or is he just going to keep that?
Yeah, I don't think he's save and quit after. Oh no, he had to.
Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where is... Okay, Goomba is now going to go get those mitts. Once again, using that portal.
Feels like a kind of a cross keys knowledge portal. Once when you have Ganon at the lumberjack, then quickest way back after getting access is that portal. I see a lot of people
cross
do that.
Keys or I don't know if Goomba does any NMG. So now that portal's using the NMG to get up to Tower of Hera. But I don't know for sure if he does or not. Yeah, we do see Goomba getting those mitts now. And going to head...
Oh, this is nice. Yeah, he can go hype left.
Yep. I mean, Goomba hadn't done Hype Cave yet, and daaanty has. Not that that's a very far out of the way check.
Yeah, this really shows how close they actually are. As much as it seemed like Goomba might have been ahead earlier, having done Aga and all these things. Like, we're basically caught up with the exact same checks here in a second.
Yeah, Goomba about to find this not very hype cave. And daaanty taking down Aga. And doing the immediate save and quit. Seems like he is setting up to just go get those mitts immediately. Stumpy with Ether.
Am I getting a lightning coin? I'm trying to make a lightning strikes, pun, don't stand under a tree or something and just die. I don't got it.
See what the digging game decides to give us today. Red boomerang after 27 digs.
Yeah, just giving us a sore back, probably. Look, the runners are converging.
Yep.
Ooh, interesting.
Goomba gonna do the Smiths immediately. I don't really mind this play too much. You have the mitts. It's a quick save and quit. You go turn them in, and then you can just go straight back and do Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, go and grab your
Purple chest after you're done.
On the way.
Yep.
Yeah, I like this.
You can also check King's Tomb here on the way. daaanty stunning those Gibdos there with the boomerang.
Yeah, did he get a double stun there? I noticed like it was just they were kind of all up in his grill.
Yeah, he did.
That was cool.
Getting a small key from the back here is always nice because now you can just go straight back to Mothula and you don't have to worry about getting the key from that one Gibdo. Blacksmith's just giving us our money back plus an extra 10 rupees.
Yeah, just a small investment.
And Goomba actually going to go for desert here.
Yeah, he does have pod done, right, which is our other 5-6. So more divergence here.
Yeah, so all it takes is for Mirror to be, here in Skull Woods or in the Village of Outcasts area for daaanty to be able to get some real nice routing efficiencies in here.
Yeah, the way the seed opened up, I could see it being, either way. No, it looks like he set up a spin speed for these upward hammers on Moth.
Yeah. We did find that desert. One item already is a shield. I was going to say daaanty has to be real careful here, but I believe he does have a fairy in a bottle still. But still takes out Moth without taking any extra damage.
Yeah, very well done. That was a tight fight there at the end.
So Goomba with the real heads-up play here, going straight back to Lammo, having found the big key on the torch and one item in the map chest. That way, if Lammo has the second item, does not have to go get the small key from the big chest and head to the right side.
Yeah, I think also he never checked Agena earlier, so even if he does have to go to the right side, it's kind of on his way to grab that at the end. Yeah, this is smart. And no items. There was a compass, I think, on Moth. So
yep. There's our first item. It's just a 3-bomb pack.
Doing a little fire rod dance there, trying to light the torches.
And heading into the Lammo fight. So our runner's about to be tied on crystals, just with different crystals.
Nice fight there. Get a easy 2 cycle on the Lambos and get your map. So has to go back and check the right side, see what's there.
Yep. Meanwhile, daaanty hunting down his second item in Skullwoods.
It's always the fun Skullwoods layout, right? Where you get the last item in the last chest you check and end up having to full clear the dungeon anyway.
Yep.
Absolute last chest in the dungeon.
The only real saving grace there being, like, you were going to have to come all the way back here to the front anyway, like, in passing, just because you still have to do Village of Outcasts. So it's not like you necessarily were like, oh man, I would have really liked to just save and quit from the back.
Yeah, right, exactly. You don't have... a lot of times if you have the mirror and the flute, you can just kind of finish up Moth and then peace out and do other things, but it's not going to happen in this situation.
And second item in Desert, not coming up there for a Goomba, just a heart container. So unfortunately, not finding any progression here in Desert. We're going to see him head over here to Agena. I don't remember what Agena had, but I know it wasn't anything important.
I think it was bombs, but yeah, nothing important. I don't think we've seen any real progression since the fire rod at like the 25-minute mark.
Yeah. So I had already completely forgotten that Thieves Town is a pendant. I'm curious to see how far in Thieves Town daaanty chooses to go.
Oh, I forgot we did see Ether. That kind of counts. Yeah, how far do you go in here? You haven't found anything in 30 minutes.
It honestly, for me, just depends on how many items I find in the front 4 chests.
Mm-hmm.
If I only find 1 item or even 0, I think I'm heading to the back. If I find 3, I'm leaving.
Gotcha.
Two is that sweet spot number where it's just like, do I want to continue this? But it looks like daaanty just not going in at all.
I wonder if he's going to do this similar thing where he combos doing Thieves Town with Purple Chest, in some way,
Yeah.
way or another.
Could see that. I'm also wondering which of our runners is going to give us Dark Death Mountain first.
Ooh, yeah, we've had that since the midst. I kind of forgot that was open now.
I do recall somebody in chat kind of pointing out way back then when Goomba was heading up to get his bow and check Spike Cave that they were kind of surprised that he did that after Aga.
Right, not knowing, or not grabbing the mitts first, right?
And not grabbing the mitts first to kind of combo all that together. So daaanty going to check Stumpy here, get his ether, and then save and quit to go take the blacksmith home.
Yeah, very similar plays here. Just kind of in a different order, but it's all going to end up sort of a wash, again, like we've seen earlier. It's kind of cool when we see seeds like this that like crisscross, We haven't really gotten to any of those late game bosses where Tempered Sword would give you a actual advantage in the fights as well either.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, Moth here.
Oh, no.
Because it's just easier to hit him with the Tempered Sword than it is to hit him with the hammer.
Yeah. I was worried there. I didn't realize Goomba had a potion. So.
Yeah. daaanty giving us the Mire area check. We're seeing that Mire is ether. I doubt we'll see daaanty go in without the red cane. But these runners have been proving me wrong all seed, and daaanty getting our 4th sword.
Very nice.
So, daaanty not going to find anything if he goes to Spike Cave. Is now going to head to Desert.
So I guess after Skull here, right, Goomba has Village of Outcast, Thieves Town, and Purple Chest, and daaanty kind of has a choice where it seems like his most likely play will be, if I were to guess, would be Pyramid Fairy after completing this, because he's kind of done all that other stuff, and the only thing left in that area for him would be the front of Thieves Town.
Yeah, either that. We still have that Dark Death Mountain, and somebody had pointed out in chat. It's probably the least likely of all the options, but you do have a Green Pendant Ice Palace.
That is true. Yeah, I think a lot of times, since Icebreaker was discovered, runners are a lot less likely to go in there to full clear for items because it does, Icebreaker does save a decent amount of time, or at least, if nothing else, makes it routing it a lot easier.
Right.
But, sometimes the Red Cane's just an Ice Palace laughing at you the entire way.
Especially when it's in that chest, right on the other side of Icebreaker.
Yeah, right. Definitely seen that before.
Right, so Goomba heading down to the Village of Outcasts area while daaanty is about to enter his Lambo fight. Goomba first stopping at the Pumper Cave. Yeah, this race is pretty much neck and neck with daaanty just having Hera over Goomba here.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. This is a extremely tight race right now, as far as the knowledge we have. Since again, they haven't found anything since like the 25-minute mark, I think.
Yeah, like
well, ether.
As we said, other than ether, which we have finally found out is a required item. So I'm curious to see if Goomba goes into Thieves Town to at least check the front four, or if he just commits to the purple chest play here.
Here we go. We get some pretty big divergence.
Yeah, daaanty heading over here to Dark Death Mountain, while Goomba does decide to go into Thieves Town here.
I feel like this is the first real divergence we've had on this season so far. Since every time they've done something, it's been stuff that they have to do anyway.
Yep.
Or in the area. So
and it's just been in a different order.
Yeah, exactly.
So Goomba finding 3 bombs in the first chest and a big key in the second chest. See if any more items come up here in the front four.
Yeah, that's another interesting thing that I just saw in chat, that daaanty does know Meyer Medallion and can also get TR knowledge here.
Yeah, and finding nothing in Super Bunny Cave. And Goomba only finding 1 item in the front four.
Oh no.
Yeah, going straight to the back. I agree with this play. If you're already in this, you just want to commit. And ether for Turtle Rock.
It's interesting daaanty went through the lower portal here instead of having the opportunity to open Turtle Rock if possible.
Yeah, especially because going through that Turtle Rock portal just is faster.
Yeah.
And nothing in Hookshot Cave. daaanty just taking the save and quit, not doing Spike Cave.
Is he doing ice?
I think this is an Ice Palace play.
Oh, this is great. This is great to see. It's super interesting to see that both have chosen a pendant dungeon.
Yeah, and both choosing pendant dungeons that yield 4 items. Now again, Goomba has checked Ped. daaanty has not. So in daaanty's mind, I'm in here. Even if I find all 3 items, I should still full clear this. I mean, with it being green pendant, you're probably full clearing at that point anyway if you're committed.
Yeah, definitely. You're gonna finish these dungeons from both runners' perspectives. So it all comes down to like if one or maybe both of them have something, which would actually probably be more interesting from our side. Like it'd be nice if one of them doesn't get kind of screwed over by having gone into a pendant dungeon they didn't need to. And
yeah, like if Goomba finds the ice rod right here, and daaanty finds red cane.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so we're going to see the Ice Palace bomb jump, which we just don't see a whole lot of anymore. Like,
yeah, always good to know.
Imagine ice or the Ice Palace hover,
or not.
I was going to say, imagine Ice Palace bomb jumping in 2021.
But actually, though. because you just hover instead, right?
Yeah. And nothing in Thieves Town. If you're Goomba, you just cannot be feeling too happy with that.
No, yeah, especially, Goomba having checked Ped where Dante has not. Goomba knows there's nothing on Ped, so yeah, he's got to now make a choice of, I think finishes up, hammer pegs and purple chests, and then has to choose what's next.
Yep. And I think it's a tough choice. Like, you have Ice Palace, you can go up and do Dark Death Mountain, but you can't combo Dark Death Mountain with Hera. And there's our Quake Medallion, which Goomba has to pick up here because he has no information.
So nothing in Ice Palace yet.
Yeah, there's a heart piece in the first chest, and that was about it.
Red 20 is not a red cane. Come on, game.
Unfortunately not. And we are getting purple chest here from Goomba. We'll see if that leads us to anything.
How long has it been? How long since we've seen progression?
It's starting to look like probably about 20 minutes whenever we first got that ether, because very real possibility of...
Myers seems like the play right now.
Yeah.
Pyramid Fairy, they've been both putting off for a long time since they got those red crystals.
Right. Yeah, Goomba sees that ether on Meyer. Right, Goomba making the Dark Death Mountain play here. So I will admit, I never realized that the that bomb jump in Ice Palace going from right to left, I never realized until just the other day how free that is.
Oh yeah, it's... people talk about Paradox Cave as the easiest bomb jump in the game, and they, those people have not experienced the Ice Palace right to left bomb jump. Yeah, you literally just nudge yourself in the corner with your sword out to the right and lay a bomb. That's it.
And we do, unless I've been just horrendously not paying attention, I do believe we have a third item here on Cold Stare.
Yeah, I think you're right. There was like bombs and a 20 or something so far.
Yep. Yeah, and technically a fourth item here as well, via the green pendant. Yeah, heart piece and 20. Oh, and the red cane on Cold Stare.
Speaking of which,
so if you're Dante, do you turn that green pendant in immediately?
Absolutely not. It's Meyer time. But yeah, it still feels like
yes.
Yes.
So we'll see what he does here.
He can go full clear Meyer.
I think if I'm one item from Go Mode, I turn it in.
Okay.
Being
That's fair.
2 items from Go Mode, I think I slightly prefer the Meyer play, just because I'm going to be looking for items there anyway.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the real answer to the question that whatever the comm would say, the runner's going to do the opposite. So
Yes.
I only said that because I wanted Dante to go turn it in. You guys realize that, right?
And Goomba giving us the Pyramid Fairy. And there's the mirror.
Oh, wow, this seed.
So we are 1 item from Go Mode. We are looking for the Ice Rod.
When are we not looking for the Ice Rod, though?
And daaanty also going to give us the Pyramid Fairy here. So I think it's safe to say at this point that daaanty just took a pretty significant lead in this race.
Yeah, I was excited earlier when they were both in different dungeons, looking for hoping that there'd be a little bit here, a little bit there, and these kind of seeds always feel actually really bad after you're done playing. Like whether you win or lose, it was a straight up coin flip an hour into the seed of, do I pick Pendant Thieves Town or Pendant Ice?
Right.
And it's I don't know. There's no right answer to it.
And I was mistaken. I misread daaanty fluting to Link's house as doing the Pyramid Fairy, completely forgetting that, that's also where you go if you're heading the swamp. Pyramid Fairy just giving us 2 blue rupees instead of the blue cane, although it does look like Goomba's heading here to Ice Palace now.
Yeah, I don't think he has anything left, right?
I mean,
I'm trying to think if he has literally anything left. I'm not sure.
The second item in Hera.
Ah, yeah, Hera.
Actually, both items in Hera from his perspective. I think these are literally the only plays he has left. So Ice Palace makes sense here.
So Ninjembro, it's always fun?
What is that?
Finding a last location mirror and then having to look for the ice rod.
Yeah,
it's actually the worst.
You hate to see it.
It's like it just every single check it opens up is the worst check that you want to ever do.
Yeah, and chat asking, what's the comeback route for Goomba here? I mean, I think I jumped the gun a little bit saying that daaanty took a commanding lead. Because in an ice rod hunt, it's tough. He does definitely have a lead here. But all it takes is, again, just remember, Goomba knows that there's nothing on Ped, and daaanty still does not, and has not touched Thieves Town. If daaanty, say, chooses Thieves Town and a blind pedestal pool over going into Ice Rodless Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I think, adding to that too, if Ice Rod's not on the path, that's very good for Goomba here.
Right. Yeah, Goomba wants this Ice Rod to not be in one of these 2 dungeons. The 2 dungeons being Swamp and Mire. I think the only other possibility, which I also think is highly unlikely, but still possible, is if Ice Rod is in Graveyard Ledge and daaanty chooses to go to Turtle Rock over checking Graveyard Ledge first. Again, highly unlikely.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Gotta wonder too. I'm sure they both feel behind in their own ways. daaanty having done Hera, Goomba having done Thieves Town.
Right.
But where do you cut corners this late in the seed?
Well, unless I counted wrong, daaanty has 1 item left side. Swamp.
Okay. So then, but he can also consider Pyramid Fairy here. So if he doesn't find it in Mire, Pyramid Fairy might be a play going up the mountain, which gives Goomba back some of the time that he spent doing that check. Mambo's tablet.
Oh, right.
What is this mirror anyway? Why did they give it to us now?
Man, just some green goo.
Yeah, good thing he caught that. Would have made a mess all over the desert.
Yeah, and just heading right into Maya here. And yeah, without having picked up that half magic, you don't mind getting a green potion there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, the half magic on the race game, both runners opted not to pick up. Neither of them checking it blind, but yeah, at this point, you know, with the equipment loadout you have, don't really need it.
Daaanty not giving us a bird toss.
Ooh, shame. Gonna have to ask him about that in the interview.
Yeah. So Goomba about to get his red cane. Yeah, Daaanty just happened to still have a little bit more magic going into the fight, so didn't have to go pick up those magic pots there on the right.
Yeah, I think the seed would have been really interesting if Ice Rod was in Thieves Town. Then, you know, they have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Goomba getting that red cane and the green pendant here.
Yeah, very good takedown of Cold Stare there. Just trapping him in the corner and whacking away.
Gonna save and quit here. And heading straight to turn in that green pendant, which we know is the correct play.
That's right. Getting a lot of that guard vision lag.
And so far, Meyer coming up pretty empty. I believe... Okay, I must have missed one item. Because Daaanty is heading straight to Vitreous here.
You know, it's funny, I'm kind of not paying attention until he finds the Ice Rod, so it's like, yeah, maybe you got an item. But again, like you said earlier, you gotta count your dungeon items.
Okay, so Cutscene does have an item. Chat saying that Cutscene does have an item. I thought we haven't seen any items yet in this dungeon. And she's showing us some spooky action. And going with the cane strats here, going into the fight with little low health for tanking all that damage. So,
Isn't 7 hearts the NMG health?
something like that.
Oh man,
I think it's quite a bit more than that, but and a shield.
All right, our second shield.
Has Daaanty checkerboard cave? Or is he just...
No, he's YOLOing to TR.
Yeah, he must feel really behind right now. And Goomba giving us cutscene chest here.
So this could be big. Nah,
Okay, so
that feels
there
bad.
was a second item there. Okay, I wasn't going crazy.
Yeah, so at this point, Goomba is about half of Mire and a full Swamp Palace behind, so... I think there's still one item in left side Swamp, right?
Yes. Again, unless I just severely miscounted, but we saw one of either the map or compass in the back of Swamp. So unless my brain is just completely fried today, I'm pretty sure that means there has to be something.
Yeah, finding Ice Rod in TR isn't that uncommon either, so, you know, this isn't a crazy play from daaanty or anything.
Suddenly having flashbacks to, what was it, V27, V26?
That's well before my time.
I forget what version of the randomizer it was, but there was one where just because of the way the logic placed items, there were, you know, over like 100,000 seeds that were generated just to analyze item placements. Ice Rod was in like 26% of Turtle Rocks.
Oh, wow.
It was something way higher than should be the case. It was kind of comical. Like, if you only needed Ice Rod, the best play was to just go to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it still feels like a common play, but, you know.
At saying 19 or 20, man, I really must have been out of the loop for a really long time to think that that was only like 27. It was like late 27 or late 2017, early 2018, I believe. Yeah, daaanty heading down to the basement here. Already found the big key.
Ooh, that was really tight. I think Goomba still has a fairy, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so it was like I was, you know, asking you earlier, and, you know, finding that mirror after doing Aga and then being on an Ice Rod hunt is actually just like the worst feeling. Because you can't even save the portal, you can't do anything but, you know, hope
Right.
for star and hope that that was the right play.
And now reminiscing about old versions of the randomizer logic. And a green 20 in checkerboard.
Yeah, so Goomba still has Swamp Palace left to catch up before catching up to getting to TR where daaanty is now.
daaanty checking the big chest here before going into Mimic Cave. Just because if that big chest has your go mode item, it's a little faster to not have to go in here and clear Mimic Cave.
Yeah, so right now, if you're a Goomba fan, you want the Ice Rod to not be in TR, and you want Goomba to find it on the way.
Yeah, you want Ice Rod to be like literally left side swamp.
And Goomba choosing to do it here.
Right. If you're daaanty and Ice Rod's not here, do you go check that second item in Hera and then do Spike Cave? Or do you just completely orphan that Hera basement?
Trying to think if there's... I don't think there's any more Light World checks.
Like there's still Graveyard Ledge. He has not done Checkerboard Cave. I don't think either runner has shown us Cave 45.
Yeah, because they found that mirror as their kind of previous progression. Sorry, what I meant with Light World checks, as a correction, is they killed Aga, so there's no way to save the portal.
Right.
So there's no checks they can do that allow them to save the portal here.
And there's the Ice Rod on Laser Bridge. So at 1 minute 19 seconds or 1 hour 19 minutes and 52 seconds, daaanty is officially in go mode.
Yeah, that just feels really bad. This was a really good, interesting seed up until, you know, they got into the Dark World and a bunch of stuff, and then all that was left was a couple pendant dungeons, and if you pick the wrong one, you just kind of lose here.
Yeah.
So these are always super frustrating seeds to play.
Yeah, it's as is always said, you know, it's in Rando, it's not over until the dot done or exclamation point done or clicking the done button is actually complete. So obviously we cannot call this one way or the other, but this is definitely daaanty's race to lose at this point by a fairly significant margin. He's an entire Turtle Rock ahead.
Yeah.
And that's assuming Goomba goes straight to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and speaking of which, that was the 7th crystal pickup from daaanty. So, as most of you know, and if you do not, there are 22 checks in Ganon's Tower where we can find a big key to open up the attic in order to fight the wizard and eventually kill Ganon. So, get your guesses in chat where you think it's going to be, 1 to 22.
What are you thinking, homie beer?
I always just say 1. But in this
say
case,
1.
let's say 21.
I always just go rude as a commentator, and I just say 22. Let's just go for
it's only 22 if you check it last, right?
That's true. daaanty could give us a tile room as check number 3.
And yeah, and Goomba with his 3rd crystal, looks like we'll check Bombos here, and I can't imagine going anywhere but straight to TR at this point.
Looks like we might be seeing a Dark Magician routing here from daaanty. And we're finding a bottle. Yeah, another bottle, this time with a B. So we're at 5 with no big key yet. 6 and 7 coming up empty. Tile room for number 8? Nope.
No, not today. Good thing they found the red cane in Ice Palace.
Yeah.
They can do the rest of these checks. That mummy got trapped on the blue blocks there.
Yeah. Bunch of money. some more money, some explosives, and a compass.
I've lost count. I don't know where they're at. Did he?
That was 11.
I don't think he picked it up, but I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I believe so, because I think he was at 2, but maybe not. Okay, he did not pick up. Again,
Oops.
should not matter.
Oh well.
Nothing in check number 12, except for some more money. Lucky number 13, just a heart piece. As we head into randomizer room here.
Nice bonk.
Hey, a blue cane.
Maybe he thinks it's the other sword.
Yep. And 14 through 17 having nothing.
That was a nice powder there. Get that out of the way early. And then you can drop the bomb quicker.
Nothing in 18. Ooh. Unfortunately getting roughed around a little bit and not getting the quick kill. And this is one of those fights, Ice Armus, where you mess up your normal groove and it just becomes a nightmare.
Yeah, especially because you need at least what, 4 arrows, maybe 2. I don't know. It depends on how good you are at clipping mimics, but it's nice to have at least 4 going up into the climb.
Yeah. Ah, 21.
Was that 21?
That was 21.
I never guessed 21. Oh boy.
So if you guess 21, you win.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to have to mimic clip here. He does only have 3 arrows.
Yep.
Doing it bufferless.
Yeah, and
very good.
Very well done. As those mimics go off because their people need them. Yeah, Goomba getting very close to his ice rod here, but still just a bit behind. Too much to make up here. And daaanty about to head into his gauntlet. And looks like daaanty is going to opt to take the refill room here at 5 hearts and only about half a magic bar. I support this decision.
I mean, if only he picked up half magic, he'd be fine, right?
Yeah. I think even with the 5 hearts going into Gauntlet, I mean, you hear a lot of people saying during this race, well, these are top tier runners, like, they don't need the safeties, they don't need this, they don't need that, but nerves can get to you, and it's a very short amount of time to completely refill your health and basically know for a fact that you're not going to die in the gauntlet.
Yeah, for sure.
especially
There's
with green mail.
Oh yeah. Yeah, nerves is huge in these tournaments. Like, you could play races like, a couple times a day and it's pretty fun, whatever you're doing, and then you play in a tournament setting and
Yep.
you're shaking by the end of the gauntlet, like you thinking my opponent's finished by now. Why hasn't my opponent finished this whole time?
Yep. And I think DataPlet put it in chat perfectly. If you die in a speed run, you reset. If you die in a tournament race, that could be your tournament life.
Yeah.
Better to take the 15 seconds to get your health refilled.
Nice Wiz Road rooms.
Yep. Goomba having a little bit of difficulty here with Trinex, but ultimately getting it done.
Yeah, taking out Trinex for the 7th crystal here. And again, if anyone joining late saw, basically what happened is it came down to, do you do Thieves Town or Ice Palace? And, the answer was Ice Palace. daaanty chose Ice Palace first. Goomba chose Thief Town first. And that's essentially what ended up in the situation we're in here.
Yep. I'm going to channel my my inner chat here for a moment and say there is still a path to victory for Goomba. All daaanty has to do is fall on Ganon like 14 or 15 times.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's actually probably honestly less than that many times, but it's probably closer to like, I don't know how long a Ganon fall loses you. It's at least a minute each time.
A minute or two, yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah, and daaanty's showing us a hover there on Moldorm too. I don't know if he's just feeling really behind and thinking that's a nice time save, or if he just really wanted to be swaggy there.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I mean, we know he's ahead. And from his perspective, he has no idea. His opponent could finish at any moment, but still opts to hover.
Yeah. And daaanty's one of those runners, he has shown himself, incredibly capable of hovering. There are a lot of runners that can hover, but many of them, will fail a couple times before getting it.
Did you see him bomb jump at all this season?
Ice Palace, the free one.
Oh, of course he did the free one. He doesn't do the free one, right?
Yeah, and with Aga 2 down, daaanty's going to head into his Ganon fight here.
Yeah, and I think Goomba has the exact same route through searching for the GT Big Key, so won't make up any time on this specifically. But yeah, 12 hits in 2 phases, 4 more hits, and then 12 spins. Finish the fight.
Yep. Setting up for that little spin on the trident there. Excellent first phase. Doing the dash pokes here for phase 2 and getting a spin in there.
That looked like 12 to me. 13.
Taking a couple hits there.
Those fire bats are no joke.
Yeah, fortunately, from this point on, the fight is as close as you can get to free.
Yeah, I think daaanty has quarter
considered free. Yeah. Good to know that daaanty is not one of the double speed individuals out there.
I do think the double speed is pretty funny, but it'd probably drive me nuts actually playing with it.
I mean, the obvious solution, as some people probably say, is just get good. Don't take so much damage.
Yeah, why are you getting hit by fire bats, bro?
Yeah.
They only do 4 hearts of damage.
Real nice setups here for some triples, although missing a couple of them.
Yeah, those long distance ones are kind of tricky.
And that's 12 hits on Ganon. So barring failing to walk over the bridge here, get your GGs in chat here for daaanty, as he will move on to the third round of the Link to the Past Randomizer Main Tournament 2021. An official time of 1:34:09, and we do see the forfeit on Goomba's side here. And actually, it looks like we are joined now by daaanty. GG's.
Yo, thanks, GG.
So first things first, just your general thoughts on this one. Now that it's over.
It was a lot of hot garbage. I kind of figured when I went to ice, I was like, if this doesn't pan out, that's it. And then, you know, of course, then we had to have that ice rod hunt. Early game, I was feeling kind of okay. I didn't really feel great about the Hera play, especially leaving that one item, just because it was going to be, you know, ages probably before I got back there. But yeah, I need to work on my GT apparently. And this has become a trend where I miscount arrows and, you know, just crap all over the Armos fight, crap all over the Agatu fight, and that's not going to get me anywhere probably going forward. I kind of was thinking that might be the end of the run. If you know, I just kind of felt like Goomba was right, like a screen behind me, if you know, if not already ahead of me.
Right. And also, speaking of Goomba, we do have him here in chat as well. GG's.
Hi, GG.
Yeah, what it really came down to was the, as Homie Beer and I were talking earlier, is it really came down to the Thieves Town versus the Ice Palace choice. Leading up to that point, the two of you took very different routes, but ultimately did a lot of the same checks, just in very, very different orders. It made it a pretty exciting race from our perspective, because we were like, well, who's going to find something first? But the seed ultimately decided it was going to give you everything in the universe in the first 25 minutes and then give you nothing for the next 40.
Yeah, I really hate these seeds where they just... There's two items in the Dark World, because they're always in the stupidest spot imaginable. They can never just be in a Hype Cave or in a Crystal Dungeon. No, put them in Pendant Ice Palace, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so chat asking, because we were going to ask you about this, daaanty, when it happened. Why no bird toss, man?
Dude, why? Like,
I agree, like, it's just a waste of time.
Oh,
like,
absolutely. But the people
I know it's like I know it's like a meme, but you know, I'm playing Goomba, right? Like, I don't care if I came in as the 1 seed. Like, Goomba is like top tier. I think if we play, you know, 10 games in a row, we might go 50-50. He probably beats me 60-40 at least, you know. So I kind of was like, I need to shave as much time as I can. You know, there's just no time for stupids, even though I had 1,000 stupids in GT. So
I mean, you say there's no time for stupids, but we just played 90 minutes worth of stupids, so...
That's fair. We all enjoy being stupid, I guess, but there's a limit, guys. There's a limit. We can't meme 100% of the time for you guys. Otherwise, it's not fun. You can't appreciate something when you get it every single time.
Like
I'm
hovering
100%
Moldorm
with you.
too.
That's the time save if you don't drop it. So that's why I do it. Just because
it was well done.
Practiced it so much. Like, and I heard you guys you know, talking and someone DM me and asked me, like, why didn't you do the Ice Palace bomb jump, you know, or why'd you do the 1 bomb jump? And I'm like, that one is like the most punishing Like
Right.
if you
Oh,
drop
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So and still with one item to go or two, I think it was one to go at that point. You don't do that with the Freezor. That one's very
Right.
volatile.
And kind of also, as we were saying, like that is also like the freest bomb jump in pretty much the entire game.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely makes sense to do the bomb jump there when you don't want to risk falling to the hover.
Yeah, I wanted to. I did want to ask a bit about the seed because the early game, the way it opened up, like you both had like very different routes, and it was really interesting to watch how you both like very efficiently cleaned everything up. And then I realized that you were done cleaning everything up around 25 minutes, and so there actually isn't like a ton of things for me to ask about beyond that, because after that it was like just full clear the game, but then go to Ice Palace before your opponents. So
Yeah, and these seeds like are never like they're never fun in a way as a runner, just because you when you win it you steal it kind of, so to speak, and when you lose it it's just like, oh, I lost a coin toss. And some days that's what Rando's about, but at the same time it never really feels good per se.
Yeah, I mean, seeds like this are why I don't like playing non-key sanity modes, where it's just make the one stupid play before your opponent makes the stupid play.
yeah, I think I mentioned something at that at the time when you were both in Goomba and Thieves Town and daaanty and Ice Palace, that like I was really hoping that the seed would stay interesting and that there was one useful item in either dungeon, so that we don't see, because we don't see it in a way where like one of you just wins just because you chose the right dungeon. Because I think I might have even mentioned like it feels really bad to win them and it feels really bad to lose them. So
I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't even want to do the back of Thieves Town, man, but it put 3 items in the back of Thieves Town. I didn't have the mirror, I had a fairy bottle, so I couldn't realistically death warp out, so I just said, screw it, let's just go kill blind, I guess.
That's what like kept me out of Thieves. Like I never went in just because didn't have a convenient way out, and just in case I needed that fairy, because sometimes I'm stupid. It was like, all right, let's just risk this. And honestly, the Ice Palace play was kind of it was kind of like Goomba would have the stones to do this and gamble on this, so I should probably just like pony up and do it. So and that was kind of the Ice Rod idea too, because Ice Rod's in TR, right? Except the 1 in a million chance that it's not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Ice Palace honestly looked really suspicious from the moment I entered the Dark World, but it seemed so ridiculous to just go there right away with no cane.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
silly because that would have been the only play. That and Stumpy, I suppose.
Yeah, like literally the only things you had to do after Dark World access was kill Aga for your mitts, check Stumpy, go beat Cold Stare, pick up your green pendant, and go to Turtle Rock. That was it. Rest of the Dark World was completely useless.
Yeah, it was ended up being pretty trash, but I did comment to Goomba. I liked your routing when you did enter to pick up the Smith right away from the first pass, turn him in, and then come back in through the dark. So sorry, let me start over. You started from Hype Cave after you got your mitts, picked up the Smith, and then save and quit, and it got you back into the Dark World to go start from the North Dark World route and then finish up the Smith chain if you chose to. At that point, that seemed like a good move there.
Yeah, I feel really happy about how I routed in terms of efficiency. I did all the checks when you only had to go to Pen and Ice Palace.
Yeah.
Which, again, that's why I don't like this mode very much. Because every seed just comes down to make the one stupid play that you have to make before your opponent makes the one stupid play. It's every seed. That's why I much prefer key sanity modes, because then there are multiple stupid plays per seed you have to make usually.
That's a really good way of putting it.
But yeah, GG's daaanty. Congrats to winning and moving on. Do you know who you are playing next, or?
I think it's winner of P Train 1-Up, and
Yes.
I would schedule matches, but I think their matches are scheduled way out. I kind of like this whole being done early. Honestly, today I was expecting to be done. So I don't know what we'll do. We'll get back on the normal weeks, I guess, where it's 1 week for 3 games, and I really don't have a preference as to who I'd want to play out of 1UP and P-Train, but hopefully they have a good series. It would be kind of funny to play P-Train since we're both on Racing Council and we could fight for superiority, so to speak, as a joke. But yeah, like both of those guys are super awesome runners, so at this point everything's hard, right?
Yeah.
I mean, joke's on you. I get to stop playing. I'm the real winner here.
Yeah, honestly.
That's been the theme of this whole tournament, I think. It's like everyone is kind of done with standard. Hard mode's, I like hard mode, but just standard and having to do escape, I'm starting to really dread if I'm gonna get bombs or not.
I mean, I don't like hard mode for one simple reason that can be perfectly summarized in this seed, actually. I got that sword in Spike Cave, and I felt pretty good about it, because hey, maybe daaanty doesn't check this for a while, and I have tempered advantage for a while. And then all the green 20s keep piling up, and I'm like, well, is this one a sword? Is this one a sword? I don't know. I don't know how to feel.
Yeah. Same with bows in a similar way.
Yeah.
That it'd be nice to know that where the other bow would have been, even though, but it's a green 20. I don't know. But I don't know if you did ever find out, but the other sword was in Mire Shed. So
makes sense. And yeah, bows as well. Honestly, bows are an even bigger problem than swords. Not in this seed, obviously, since the bow was completely free, but like if you find a bow in, I don't know, left side swamp or something, and then the other bow is just chilling on the path and you just never know, then kind of sucks.
yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Well, I'm gonna get some dinner. GG's to Goomba again. This was obviously a tough series, but and thank you guys for doing comms and tracking and stuff. Do appreciate you guys volunteering to do the restream.
Yeah, and GG's, to everybody in chat. If you haven't already, make sure you follow both of these runners. daaanty and Goomba put on a great race here. Links are there in chat. Also, I'd like to shout out my co-commentator here, Homemade Beer, as well as our tracker, Artaro.
Yeah, GG's to both racers. That was a great show, and looking forward to see more from you. I think I already follow both of you and watch regularly, so. But yeah, thanks, Ninjembro. That was really fun to come with you, and this has been a really great race.
And also for anybody in chat who does want more randomizer this evening, there is one more race scheduled here on SpeedGaming at 10:10 Eastern this evening between the Boulder and Allison. So for those of you who will still be awake, because I certainly won't be, you can check that one out this evening. And we will see you all later.